Hey guys, it's Sherry. Let's talk about something that is oh so near and dear to my heart. Y'all stay tuned. So I get asked a lot of questions. Glue, chipboard, the finger blade. One of the questions I probably get asked just as much as I do about the glue and the chipboard is paper. How do I choose my paper? Well guys, my process for me is pretty simple because I've been choosing papers to make projects for decades. So I have forgotten what it's like to go way back and try to figure out how to choose papers. But I know that this is new for a lot of you, and I'm going to share with you how I choose my papers. Might not be the way that others choose their papers, and it might not even follow design philosophy, but it's what works for me. And I think that is what crafting of any type is all about. It's what works for you. What do you like? So we're going to jump into talking about paper in just a minute, but just a little bit of background on me and my long journey with paper. Way back, I used to craft with wrapping paper and poster board. That's where it all started for me. And then of course the beautiful papers came out, the chipboard came out, and my world was rocked and my world was changed forever. And here I am today in a craft studio that my wonderful husband Mike built for me that is overrun with paper. I have been collecting paper at least for 15 years, and people ask me, where do you source your papers from? I source my papers from all over, and unfortunately, most of the time, I can't even tell you where I've gotten a piece of paper from or where I've gotten a whole collection of paper from. When I'm on vacation, I find a scrapbook store. When I am online, I'm always looking for paper. It's just what I do. So when I'm not sharing the name of a paper, it's truly because I don't know. I have so much paper. I have a back wall of my studio that's nothing but paper. And I'm not saying this to brag or anything, but guys, I probably have in excess of 10,000 sheets of paper. And that probably makes it an addiction because I have so much paper. But I'm just saying all of that because I get asked all the time, why don't you tell us where you got the paper from? I'm not keeping a secret. I truly don't know. And when I don't know the name, I truly don't know. So what I want to talk to you about today, though, is how I choose my papers for my projects. And hopefully what I'll share today will be helpful to some of you. And for me, how I choose my papers is all about what do I like? What's the first thing that catches my eye about a piece of paper? And then when I pick that piece of paper, how do I choose the coordinating papers to go with it? So I'm going to bring in a piece of paper really quick and show you. So this paper, I do know where it's from because I still have the tag across the top, and it's from Authentique. And the beautiful thing about stripes, polka dots, plaids, and florals, you can really mix those together. You can actually do a project where you've got stripes, florals, and polka dots all on the same project, and it's going to work. So when I look at this paper, what's the first thing that catches my eye? It's the peachy color of it. That's what catches my eye, not the pattern, but the color in this case. So then I'm thinking, okay, what would I want to match with this? And I would pull out this. If this was the look that I was going for on a project, I would go to this paper, which is a Prima paper. So this is how we're able to mix and match different papers that are not from the same pad or from the same set. What I do is I am looking for what is it about this paper that's going to just easily merge into this paper. And because neither of the patterns are so overwhelming, it just blends. So when I make a box or a bag or a piece of desk decor using these patterns, it's automatically going to work, because there is nothing about these patterns that are competitive with one another. So let's do this real quick with these two patterns. We're going to make a box. Okay guys, so to make a box, using the two papers that I just showed you, I have a piece of paper that measures 12 by 12, and I have this scored at 4 on all 4 sides. And then I am going to fold and burnish my scores. So then I am going to come in with my finger blade, and I am going to cut down on all 4 sides to get my tabs. Okay, and then I have my tabs cut, and all I'm going to do is put this together, and I am going to make this box fairly quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time making the box. The goal of this video is just to show you how we can take papers from 2 totally different companies, 2 totally different collections, and mix them to create something beautiful. Alright guys, so our box is done, and it measures 4 by 4. And I am going to bring in the piece that I have for the lid, and it measures 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. I'll bring in my scoreboard, and I'll score this at 1 and 2 on all 4 sides. And then I'm going to fold and burnish my scores. And then I'll come back with my finger blade, and I am simply going to cut out my tabs. And I'll angle cut in here, and I'll angle cut in here, and then I'll remove this piece here. And I'm going to do this on all 4 sides. Alright, so once we have our tabs cut out, we're going to put the lid together the way that you see me put the lid together on boxes every day practically, at least for the last week. So I am just going to glue in my tabs. And now that my tabs are glued in, I'll fold the outer flaps backwards, and I will put glue on these and fold them in just like this. And then we have our lid, and I'll bring in my box. I'm going to put the lid on the box just like that, and you guys can see that this works. You've got the florals, you've got the script, and you've got the stripes, and it works. And that is how I like to approach making my boxes. So when we put this all together, you can see how this works. There is nothing about this box that's distracting. You have got the same look in color and tone coming all the way down, but you've also got flowers and stripes that complement each other. Flowers and stripes always work together, so they do complement. That is one way of how I select my papers. Now we're going to look at another way, and I'm going to set this box to the side. So I am going to bring in this beautiful floral print, and I think that it is just gorgeous. And of course the pink flowers jump out at you, and that's the first thing that caught my eye. So then I start to think, what would I do with this if I wanted to make it into a box or a bag? So when I'm looking at this, I think, you know, a plaid or a polka dot could really make this pop. So I made a box before, and this time I am going to turn this into a very quick bag. I'm not going to go through the whole process that I normally go through when I'm making a bag. I am going to turn this into a very quick bag to show you how easy it is to make these two patterns work. And the reason why they work is you've got these wonderful vibrant pinks, then you've got the subdued greens that will flow right into this piece of paper here. And then of course the barnyard look of the fencing just falls right in line with the black. So all of this just flows. And if you saw these two separately, you would think, oh, they just won't work. Well, yes, they will, and I'm going to show you how. All right, guys, so what I have here is a piece of that beautiful paper, and I've cut it down to 5 by 12, and I am going to place it on my scoreboard, and I am going to score this at 5 and at 7. Set this to the side, bring in these 2 pieces, which will be my side pieces, and they measure 3 by 5.5, and I am going to score these at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. Okay, so then I am going to fold and burnish my scores. And then I'll come back and I'll have 2 little squares in each corner, and I am simply going to remove those. And then I'll bring this in and I'll fold and burnish my bag. And this bag is just being made for demonstration purposes. The care that you normally see me put into my other bags, I'm not doing that here because I just want to show you how we're going to match these papers up. So then I am going to take this paper and lay it right in here so that I can bring up my sides. So what I'll do is I will take my reptile glue, put some on the bottom. I am going to put that down just like that, and basically what I'm doing is I am making sure that my bottom piece falls inside of my score marks, and I'll burnish that down a little bit. Then I'll come back with my other piece, put some glue on it, and do the same thing. So I'll get this stuck down, come in on the inside and do any moving that I need to do. And now I can take this and I am just going to place glue here, bring this up and get this stuck down. Come over to this side, do the same thing. And match it up. And get it stuck down. And just like that, you can see it's working. So I'll bring my glue back in, put glue on both of these. Get this stuck down. And just like that, we have got a really cute little bag. I can flat fold this if I want, just by bringing it all the way down and coming up with my bone folder and smoothing it across. Make a whole bunch of these, store them up, pull them out when I need. And then I can attach handles to these if I want. Just look at how the polka dots and the florals just complement each other. So then we could actually take polka dot handles and put them on, or we could take this bag, pop it into our punch. Let's try not to get any of the sides punched. We could pop it into our punch, bring it down just like that. I'll stand up to do it because I have to put pressure because I'm going through 2 sheets. When I punch the first time, I then need to come back over and punch on that end. And that's how I can go through my 2 sheets of paper. But you can see that we now have a gorgeous little bag that's perfect for any type of little party favor, whatever you want to use it for. And when you open it back up, guys, you can see that the transition from here to here, this works. So that's another way of looking at which papers should I choose when I am trying to make a project, or how do I match up? What am I looking for? We're going to do another one. Okay, guys, so now we're going to take a look at plaids. So I have this wonderful plaid, and again, I can match this plaid up with stripes, I can match it up with polka dots, I can match it up with florals, and I am actually going to match it up with some florals. So when I look at this plaid, the first thing that catches my eye are the blue and the green contrast in the plaid pattern. And so I'll go through all of the papers that I have, and I'm looking for something that's just going to pull it all together. And this works for me, guys. This is absolutely what I would consider gorgeous. So I like it because everything just naturally flows, and when you are choosing your papers, that's really how you should be looking at it. Just look at how it works together. Don't be afraid to mix your patterns, as long as you've got colors that flow from one to the other or closely flow from one to the other and tie in. So I am going to make another box very, very quick, and you're going to see exactly how these two patterns complement each other. Okay, so to make this box, again, we're starting with a piece that measures 12 by 12, and we are going to score at 4 on all 4 sides. And then we'll fold and burnish just like we did before. And then I'm going to come back with my finger blade, and I am going to just release my tabs. So I'll cut straight down, and then I'm going to angle cut and do this on the other 3 sides. And then we are going to put the box together just like we did the other one. So we're going to take our glue, and I'm doing this very quick. Put this box together. Alright guys, so now that my box is together, we'll make the lid. Alright guys, so we're going to make our lid, and I am going to bring in that beautiful blue floral, and my piece measures 10 1/8 by 10 1/8, and I am going to score at 1 1/2 and 3 on all 4 sides. And I will fold and burnish my scores, and then I will cut out my tabs. My burnishing is done, and I am going to cut out my tabs, and I'll do one with you guys, and then I will do the others off camera. So I'm going up to the second score mark. I am going to angle cut in like that. Then I'll come over to this one, angle cut. Then I will remove that. So this is what I'll be left with. I will do the other 3, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so now that my tabs have been cut out, I will put this box together. So I am just going to glue it up, come back with my bone folder, get this stuck down. I'll do the other 3, and I'll be back. Alright guys, so I have my tabs put together on this lid. And now we can do what we did on the other one, which is place glue on these flaps and fold them in. Come back in with my bone folder and get this stuck down. Alright, and then I'm just going around the inside of my top to make sure everything is nice and stuck. I'll bring in my box, I'll place my lid on, and you can see just how well this works. You have got 2 completely different patterns, but because we've got these greens pulling everything down, we've got the blues pulling everything down, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous gift combination. So I'm going to bring in our other projects so that you can see just how easy it is to mix and match. So we've got this wonderful bag that has florals and polka dots. It works. It truly works. Then we have the first box that we made, which is this peachy box with the beautiful Prima paper on top, and everything just flows with the eye, and it's beautiful and it works. And then we have complete contrast in dramatic, bold, and then subdued, but it works because we have got all of these colors from the top to the bottom want to work together, even though you've got the boldness of this blue here, and it ties in with the subdued look of these muted plaids. It does work. And then when you embellish these, oh my goodness, it is going to be absolutely gorgeous. So those are some of the ways that I look at papers when I am trying to decide how to match up. I look at what catches my eye first, and then I decide, okay, what pattern and colors do I want to bring in to complement the paper. Okay guys, so I am not going to make any more projects. We've made 2 boxes and a bag, but I did want to show you some other color combinations that I could match up. So I've got this wonderful paper by Authentique, and it's Birds on a Branch. And these birds, again, would match beautifully with the paper that I used just a moment ago by Anna Griffin. I mean, look at that. It all ties in, looks wonderful, and we can certainly make this work. Okay, so if you're starting with plaids, polka dots, stripes, florals, you can pretty much bring in a whole host of other patterns to make your projects work, just like this works. And if you wanted to, you could take a solid stripe or a solid strip and just break this up if you didn't like that total flow. But I love it, and I actually might use it in a project sometime soon, and you guys will see just how it works. So this beautiful geometric is pink with gold foiling. Love it. And it is from a Martha Stewart paper pack. And then I've got this paper, and I'm not sure where this is from. I can't even tell you. But I would layer that on top. So if I was making a box, one of these would be the bottom, one would be the top. And then if I wanted to break it up, I could actually bring in this little black and white. Everything just coordinates, and I'm sure you guys see just how gorgeous that is, and you can envision exactly how beautiful that would be on a project. So when you are deciding on which papers and how to pick papers, start with your base paper, whatever the project is that you're going to make. If you're going to make a box, decide first what you want the box bottom to be or the lid to be. Then when you look at that paper, decide, okay, what complements this. So if you're starting with the floral, you already know you can choose from a plaid, a polka dot, or a stripe. That's going to work. So then go back and look at your papers and decide, okay, of those patterns, which one pulls in best with the project that I'm working. And just like this, we can do a large geometric print with equally large flowers, but we're going to break it up if we wanted to. So it really is all in how you look at it. You want to pick colors that complement. The pink from here flows right in line with the pink in this paper. I would never put this paper with anything that had blues in it, because nothing up here has blue, but something down here has pink. Or I could go with the green, or I could go with the black, as long as it's all going to flow to the eye. And guys, I will say this to you. Whatever patterns you choose to use, if you like it, then it's right. If it looked good to you, if it looked good enough to you to be that pattern that you wanted to choose, that combination, then it's right. No one else can come back and tell you, oh, you chose the wrong paper or you chose the wrong embellishment. If you like it, then it's right. But I hope that what I have talked about a little bit here helps to give you some insight into how I think and how I look at papers when I am choosing them for my project. And I may put color combinations together that you guys would say, oh, I would never do that. That's okay, because you don't have to. You can choose the papers and the patterns that work best for you. So I hope that you guys have liked this video. I hope that it's been helpful. Trying to explain how to pick out papers when you're not in front of an actual live class is very difficult to do. In a hands-on class, it's a pretty easier process to walk people through. Online, it's a little more difficult. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.